Hey, what is up, YouTube? This is a pretty quiet evening. Pitching Dragon Blade. I'm going to be showing and/or discussing my newer deck profile. This one particularly being the one that everybody is running. So I'm going to start this off in just a minute. First of all, I want to be thankful and say that I'm working on my reviews, trying to make them a little bit longer, less length-based, and trying to discuss what the cards do. I've always done that in every single one of my videos, and I've been pressed for time, so some of my deck profiles will be long, some will be short. So let's just jump into the deck profile. 3 Maiden with the Eyes of Blue, because she's a broken card. She's targeted for an attack. You negate the attack, and you change her to defense position, and she specials a blue eyes from the hand, deck, or graveyard. If she is targeted by a card effect, it doesn't matter which, if it's you or your opponent, you can special summon Blue Eyes, and the effect will go off. A good combo with her would be with Lance, because she's stupid. Her effect can only be used once per turn, so make sure that you use it to get Blue Eyes right off the bat. And then, of course, 3 Blue Eyes, because it's necessary at 3. This is a Maiden Blue Eyes deck, so you have to run Blue Eyes at 3. If not 2, because I've seen it in some builds. 3, the White Stone of Legend, because you pitch it with Cards of Consonance to target. And for the other tuners, 2 Dragon Riders. Sorry for that glare. Let me get this out of the way. White Stone of Legend, basically, if it's dumped to the graveyard in any way, shape, or form, you get a Blue Eyes to hand. And Dragon Rider is also a target for Cards of Consonance. So we have 5 targets for Cards of Consonance. If Maiden with the Eyes of Blue would be a dragon, she'd be way too broken. One honest, because this deck is mostly light, and the last light monster we have is a Thunder King, because Thunder King is just nice. It's a nice 1900 beat stick, and he's still good. It's not a bad card. Then we have, for the Dark variant, we have 2 Darkstorm Dragons, because it helps. Since it's a normal monster, it helps the graveyard. It helps getting your fuel. You could then later you special it with the Azure Eyes, and then you normal summon it, and you heavy storm the entire field, which is really nice. You can even use it with Dragon Rider's effects. Just to quickly go back to Dragon Rider, you equip him to a Dragon type normal monster, and whenever the monster would be destroyed, he protects it, so you get rid of him instead. And his other effect is that he makes the normal monster inflict piercing damage, so that's an interesting thing. 1 red med, because it's a dragon deck. Why not 1 red med? Just because, you know? We have hand traps, we have Gores, and we have Tragodia, just because they're big beefy monsters, and because they are very good hand traps. Tragodia especially for OTK stoppers. And he has saved me before. He has saved me for a couple turns. Because there's a lot of light and darks, 1 Chaos Sorcerer just to tech in. I don't really like it, but it's nice, because you can banish a Dark Storm and a Blue Eyes, and you can get those back later. And a 1 teched in Dandelion, because you can make Formula Synchron on this deck like nothing. So, that's the main count of monsters. I believe there's 18 to 20 monsters. So now we're going to go to spells. We're going to go to Dragon Shrine. I only run 1 of it, so before anybody says anything, it's only necessary at 1. You can run 2 to speed up the process. I mean, you can. It's not a bad idea. But I prefer it at 1. You dump a dragon from your to your graveyard, and if you dump a normal dragon, you get to summon another, or you get to dump another dragon. So you send Dark Storm, and then you send Blue Eyes, and whatever. Or you send Blue Eyes and then Dark Storm. Start setting up your engine. 1 for 1 to get the Maiden or the White Stone or anything out of the deck, really. There's several 1-star tuners. 1 Silver Scry, because this card's pretty good. You can. There's another card that it goes with called Champion's Vigilance, and I'll show you the combo later. But for now, Silver Scry at 1. Silver Scry could be a 2 or 3, but I think that's too much. 1 Dark Hole. Double MST for back row hate and to get rid of monsters that are a problem. And then, of course, Forbidden Lance, because you can chain Lance to activate Maiden's effect, or you can chain Lance to any of your dragons while while Dark Hole is happening to save your monsters. Then for draw power, because this deck does not need to run dualities, we have 2 cards of consonance and 3 trade-ins. Sorry for that glare. That's all the draw power you need, really. Some people run 3 cards of consonance and 3 trade-in, or 2 trade-in and 3 cards of consonance, but I tried 3 cards of consonance for a while, and I noticed that I kept getting the monsters in my hands, so I think it's better if we have 3 trade-ins. Traps, we have a Solemn Warning, and we have a Dark Breed for the 2 first negations. Then we have 2 more negation spells. This is why I say Silver's Cry is amazing. Champion's Vigilance is basically like a Solemn Judgment. It stops a summon monster or a spell a trap that is activated. So you negate it as long as you control a level 7 or higher normal monster, which would be Blue Eyes. So you use Silver's Cry, you have this set, and then whatever they try to use, it could be a Dark Hole or whatever torrential, you can chain this, and the counter will go first, so yeah. To set up your engine, 2 of Castle of the Dragon Souls. It's really good to target Maiden as well. You can banish a Blue Eyes, you can banish a dragon like a Dark Storm or something, and then when this leaves, when a card effect, well, actually, when this card on the field is sent to the graveyard, so if it's activated and it's negated, I'm pretty sure it'll still work, but its effect is amazing. You target a monster, you banish a dragon, and that monster gains 700. And it says monster. Note that. So, you target Maiden, you special Blue Eye, she gains 700 attack, you sink, you make Azure Eyes, you do a whole bunch of stupid stuff. Really. Castle of Dragon Souls is really good. And then 2 Call of the Haunted, because you need some extra revival, unless Silver's Cry and Azure Eyes can't do it for you. Okay, so that's the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, which is not really that great, but it's okay. 1 Neo Galaxy S Photon Dragon, just when I have 3 Blue Eyes on the field and I have nothing to do with them, I'm like, let's summon this guy. So, yeah. For 2 Blue Eyes on the field, Thunder and Dragon. If you don't want him in this deck, then get your hands on him. Thunder and Dragon is amazing. He will help you with your plays, and he will nuke the field. 1 Utopia for, these are rank 4s, 1 Utopia because it's standard. 1 Starleash Palatimo because you can make him. Same thing with Steel Swarm Roach, and Queen Dragoon Djinn. Queen Dragoon Djinn is really good, though. You get special the Blue Eyes, and yeah, it has to be in defense, but it's just for 1 turn, and it doesn't have an effect anyway. Or you can special the Dark Storm, and whatever. Formula Synchron for your Dandelion tokens, and the Maiden, or the Whitestone, or the Dragon Rider, they're all tuners, so why not Formula Synchron? You get an extra card. For 5, we have 1 Magical Android. For 6, we have 1 Iron Chain Dragon, which is not really that good, but I just have it there. And for 9s, obviously, your 2 Azure Eyes. You only need 2, but people run 3. It really depends on how quickly you want to crank him out and just have him sit there, because he protects you for 2 turns. I just think 2's okay, really. 1 5-headed, because I do run Dragon's Mirror in the side deck, so if I side it in and I use Dragon's Mirror, they're like, and then I drop this thing, they're like, oh, that's what you were summoning. Yeah. 5-headed Dragon is just a nice big surprise when you're losing and you know that you have no other way out. If you can at least stall a little bit and get that card off, I think you're golden. Because he can't be killed by anything besides light. Yeah, besides light. So, that being said, unless you're facing a light deck, they're screwed. And token for Gores and for Dandelion tokens. Alright, so part of the Night's Maiden, obviously. It's 13 Dragon Blades signing off.